Can I have everybody's attention for 1 second? Can I have everybody's attention for 1 second? We know this is a very important meeting, but we just also have to follow some safety rules. If you look around the room, there's 2 blue painter tapes lying around. We have to keep that open for emergency egress. We're at our max in here. If we need to go further, we have a TV set up outside. In the event of an emergency, you have the 1 exit right there that brings you outside, and you also have a stairwell right here. But we have to keep that 4-foot lap open around the room, or else we're going to have to move into the overflow.
And just to answer the question, so if there is the overflow outside, if you are outside and you want to participate during the public portion, you will still be able to come in to participate. If we could leave this center aisle open for those folks, we just want to make sure that everyone is in here is safe and secure. So if we could, if you're in the blue areas, if we could start to kind of make our way to the overflow section, and then we're about to start the meeting. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I know that. I know that.
How did you end up
everybody, but just we also want to get to the vote. So.
Unless someone took it.
It should be part of this packet.
Let's just get her, honey. Wait for Aaron. Aaron, come on.
Right there.
Look, whatever issue
Council President,
doesn't
you're on.
happen, if you show up, this doesn't happen if you show up.
You're live.
Yeah, it's an emergency or a special meeting of council.
Good evening, everyone. Today is July 23rd. This is a special meeting today on the appropriations budget. It is an emergency appropriations for today. As most of you know, we did not finish our meeting on Monday, and today, the part of this meeting today is to make sure we finish the appropriations. It is not a meeting to pass the budget, okay? We all please rise to for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Paul?
Councilmember Brescher.
Here.
Councilmember Dima. Here. Councilmember Kentos.
Here.
Councilmember Patel.
Here.
Councilmember Patil.
Here.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Here.
Council President Coyle.
Here. Clerk, read adequate notice.
Adequate notice of this meeting, as required by the Open Public Meeting Act of 1975, has been provided by a special notice published to the Township website on July 21st, 2026, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal complex on that same date.
Thank you. Thank you, council members, for joining us here today, and for everyone here from the public, thank you for joining us. Just good evening, everyone. For those who are attending for the first time, welcome. You may follow along the agenda that we provide at the back table. You will have 4 minutes to speak on public comments and 4 minutes on resolutions and oral petition remarks of the portion of the agenda. If you're watching from home, please visit edisonnj.gov, click on departments, then council, and select the council agenda so you can follow us along from home on TV. If you have any further comments and you're not here today to make comments, you can email me at joecoyle@edisonnj.gov. Just in addition to my comments, I first want to mention, for those who want to speak during the public portion, we're going to Sergeant Michkowski is here, the gentleman right behind you. We're going to form a line behind him. So anybody who wants to speak will start behind Ms. Michkowski. We do have a small list of people prior to that, but please form a line there. As you know, this is going to be a long meeting. If you have the opportunity that one of your colleagues will represent what you may want to say, you are welcome to do that. I wish everyone can speak here for 4 minutes, but some of you may not want to be here that long. We have all night. Everyone is welcome to speak all night, and each one of you can speak, I believe, twice for 4 minutes. So that'll be up to you whether you choose to allow that courtesy for your friend to, or your colleague or your union rep to speak for you. But as a favor to those who are listening or those who are here for the most important reason, which is to vote on the emergency appropriations, please consider a courtesy that we can get to that vote. I expect that we'll have several council members speaking from their position and what they have an interest in, and we have to also allow that. I'm quite certain they'll give a courtesy to each one of you that you're here and that they'll do the best they can to wrap up their point and their privilege and suggestions they have to the council. So with that being said, again, welcome, and I just hope we can do our best to get to this vote and what's most important. Again, we're voting on emergency appropriations that'll get us through the spending for each one of you that are in this room that have a job in Edison and for all the public safety needs we have in this town, including DPW, police, fire, and several departments in here that are essential needs to this town. So we are not, again, voting for the budget today. We are planned to voting for the budget. Madam Clerk, is August 3rd. So that day will be a separate day. And at that day, members of the council can suggest amendments to that budget, which can be cut, which could have effects as well. But there's no bigger effect today not voting for this emergency spending today. So I hope we're clear, and thank you again. And I look forward to hearing from a lot of you. Again, the line is formed behind Sergeant Michkowski, and we'll move from there.
Council President?
Yes.
Quick question. Normally when a member of the public comes up to speak, we have an opportunity to respond. Since we have people downstairs, they don't even know this line exists, and they actually are waiting downstairs to speak. Should we allow everybody to speak first and then comment later, or do
Well,
you
we're
want us
going to have comment on.
as we go?
We're going to have comment on the resolutions like we do at every meeting. Some people may not want it to go too long, but I can't control that. So everybody who has an interest in speaking, I'll ask the sergeant to make an announcement downstairs. I'll ask the clerk to have her deputy acting clerk go downstairs and make an announcement. For those who want to speak that are downstairs, please have them come up. If anybody's here in the audience that has a friend that's downstairs, please reach out to them to come upstairs to speak. Fair enough?
Yeah, but my question was, when somebody comes up and they make their comment, and they might, say, hey, why did you leave? Perfect example, right? Do I get to respond, or do you want me just to allow everybody to speak?
If, as a courtesy to
The people.
those who are waiting to speak, if we can wrap our questions up after we close the portion of that, that would be a courtesy. But I cannot, today's day, I may not be able to control that. And if council members want to speak and engage with a resident here today, I'm going to allow that.
Okay.
Although if they can wrap it up and keep it to a minimum, that would be appreciated. And I think all of you know what I'm talking about. As much as people will complain that we only have 4 minutes and we speak for 17, I get that point. But I think we may get to that. So again, to the council that's here today, the question Rich Brescher has is that will we engage in your questions throughout the conversation and public portion before the resolutions? So yes, he can, but we'll hope that will wait. Anything else, Councilman Brescher?
That was it.
We're
sir.
good?
Yes.
Sergeant, we're going to have an announcement downstairs. And would the clerk walk down there just to make sure we have 2 announcements that are happening? And so if people need to form a line. And before we close and adjourn the public portion, we'll make one more announcement down there. Is that fair? Fair enough? Okay?
I'm going to do the public safety thing real quick.
Just as a reminder to everyone, before the meeting started, our fire chief outlined some of the exit, where the exits are just in case of emergency. We have blue tape down on the ground. We need to make sure that those areas stay clear. And for the center portion here, we're going to ask that if you can, there's an overflow with the television. You'll be able to see and hear everything. The line is going to start behind the officer. It's going to extend out into the hallway. So anyone who wishes to speak on the public portion, which is about to begin, we would ask that you form that line now and going out. And anyone in the middle, if you could stay as close to the side as you can. If not, join that line. That would be fantastic. Thank you.
Miss anything?
We're going to open it up to the public.
Okay, at this time, we're going to be at item 4 on the agenda. If you don't have agenda, again, they're on the back table. We're going to open, and they're also outside. We're going to open up the public portion, comments on the resolutions only. There are only the resolutions here and nothing else to comment on. So if I could first on our list, Margot Harris wanted to speak.
Margot Harris, 43 Oak Hills Road, Edison. I want to speak on both 401 and 402 kind of combined. And my question about them is, this is through Council President. This is through Council. Can't hear me? Let's see what we got going on here.
Sorry, can we just check to make sure that that microphone is on and the volume's up? Okay.
Yeah, it's on. Okay.
Thank you.
So, was the temporary budget that had been previously adopted, did that run through the end of this month?
Yes, would you answer that, please?
Council President, the last temporary emergency appropriation ran through the pay period, just for clarification purposes. So the pay period ends July 22nd. The next pay period runs through August 5th, so therefore there would be that overlap. So it is through the end of the pay period for clarification purposes, not the end of the month.
I see. All right.
It's point of order. Just for those who are speaking, I normally answer the questions at the end, just to create some less back and forth. If it's necessary, I'll make that decision. But I try to make sure anyone who's speaking gets their 4 minutes, and we'll answer all their questions in the order they asked. Okay? Thank you.
Well,
continue.
I don't have any more questions. I have comments, but I'm not sure if they belong here or if they belong in the public comment part.
Okay, that'll be your continue.
Well, all right. So first of all, I want to give a big hand to all the people who are here tonight on behalf of Edison, and especially to our public safety people. You guys are great for showing up. You are what this is all about. You are what this is all about. And so those in the media, you might want to put your bleepers out because I'm about to say something that might cause a bleeper. I want to congratulate members of this council who by their actions achieved a shit show trifecta the other night.
Okay. Marco,
Go ahead, Joe. Go ahead.
we may be narrowing down a path that we need to do this on the public portion. I'm not saying you can't do this in about right after, but we should navigate some of this conversation to the public portion. This is just comments on the resolutions and the spending of this
Well,
specifically.
it has to do with the fact that that these resolutions were needed because of what happened.
I'll allow
the other
that.
night.
Continue.
Okay. So let me count the ways of the shit show trifecta. Number one, so the meeting didn't start Monday because even though we had a quorum, the meeting didn't start Monday until 20 minutes late. So, but then we had 3 council members, Council Vice President Kentos, Council Member Patel, Council Member Patil, who didn't show up for one of the most important meetings that goes on during the council year. And that is a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. If you have issues with the budget, if you have grievances, good. Air them here. Let everyone hear them. The public would like to hear them, and then the public might want to kind of ride along and talk about some of those things. But you didn't show up, and how disrespectful that was, because so you screwed the people who were here, who had to wait. Then Councilman Brescher walks out right as the beginning of the period of the regular meeting, and no one knew that he walked out, and we're all left there for another 20 minutes or so. You do a disservice to the public. You do a disservice to the township. That the recreation department, the splash park, all of those things were closed, and you do a disservice to the employees. Shame on you.
I'm sorry, but we just have a list of the state PBA president is coming next. I'll have you go right after him. Okay?
What's that?
Go ahead, continue. We'll go right after you, no problem.
Okay. Thomas Leckie, Netherwood Circle, Edison.
And if you can speak, point of order, I know it's difficult, that mic should be,
Okay.
you're a taller person.
How's
If you can
that?
speak as close
A
as you
little bit
can, would
better?
be great.
Okay, I'm all in favor of this temporary funding, but my question is, how long does it go for? Secondly, what I would like is, I'm all in favor of it. I mean, you're holding all these fine Edison employees hostage, as well as a disservice to us as your neighbors. One thing I think you should do is there's line items for the council pay, mayor pay, and everybody, and the business administrator pay. I believe you should take that money out of the appropriation so that you feel the pain until the budget is passed. I think it's unfair that you furlough people while you still get paid. It's wrong. I vote you should do that, or I recommend that you do that if it is all possible. And then what you need to do is the council and the township, mayor and all, need to be sequestered, knock out every line item in the budget so that come August 3rd, you get a complete census to approve the budget, and then we move forward. You're hurting everybody. All local news is here. You would only hope that they would be here for good things, not bad. Do what's right, pass it, taking out the salaries for everybody that's involved in the budget decision. Sequester yourselves, go through it line by line, and everybody vote yes for a real budget come August 3rd. Thank you.
Council President. I need to respond.
You can come up, but we're going to have a comment from the Councilman.
Thank you, Council President, allowing me to answer that. In fact, I did highlight 3 line items to be pulled for the separate vote. That includes council, BA, and the mayor. Just, answering the question that, why did the council member did not show up? And Council President, had a good discussion about that. He didn't bother to call councilmen because he thought he had the 4 votes and the budget will be passed. Last 2 months, regardless what is in social media, that is incorrect. And I will present the facts. I'll present the facts to every one of you. What mayor proposed the budget in one-on-one meeting, I have the copy. I will share that to the media when the time comes in. Versus what I discussed with Council President Coyle, he didn't have a courtesy call. And just to answer a question that is raised, why the meeting didn't happen. The failure was on the part of the administration. They did not inform any council member or this body that we will run out the money before end of this month. All of us were under the impression that we'll have the money until end of the month. And we knew that there will be emergency meeting to pass the appropriation. That was absolutely not a problem. So this is not just, you can't look from one lens. You need to look at holistic picture, what you see in social media versus what the facts are. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. State PBA President.
Good evening. My name is Peter Andreev. I'm the president of the New Jersey State PBA. I'm here on behalf of PBA Local 75, our police officers here that faithfully and honorably patrol the residences and streets of neighborhoods of Edison Township. This is no longer an abstract disagreement over budget numbers. 10 Edison police officers have been furloughed. We are now being told that if the number could grow substantially if this budget is not passed. These are not unnecessary positions or expendable employees. They are police officers hired and trained and assigned to protect the residents of Edison. Many of the officers affected are newer officers who left departments and made a commitment to this township. Hopefully you guys can make a commitment to them. A police department cannot be turned on and off like a light switch. This is not a discretionary municipal program. Calls for service will continue. Emergencies will continue. Crime will not wait for the council to resolve its differences. Removing officers from the schedule does not eliminate the public safety need. It leaves fewer officers available to answer calls, conduct investigations, patrol neighborhoods, and back up other officers. It also creates the real possibility that any claimed savings will be offset by overtime costs needed to maintain the basic levels of police coverage in this township. We understand that the council members may have legitimate disagreements over the permanent budget. Tonight, however, the immediate question is much narrower. Will you provide the temporary funding necessary to keep Edison operating and put these officers back to the streets where they work and where they belong? The public should not be placed at risk, and employees should not lose their pay because elected officials have been unable to reach an agreement. Every council member has an individual responsibility to be present, cast a vote, and explain the vote to the people of this township. The New Jersey State PBA is seeking the council to do 3 things tonight. Approve the funding that is necessary to return all furloughed officers to duty. Provide the local representatives with complete information regarding any proposed additional furloughs, including the number of officers, their duration, the selection process, and the anticipated effects on staffing and overtime. Meet promptly with the local to negotiate the consequences of any actions affecting its members and the delivery of police services. No police officer should be used as leverage in a political or budgetary dispute. No family should be left wondering whether a paycheck is coming, and no Edison resident should have to wonder whether enough officers will be available to answer their 911 emergency call. So what you must do, what you have to do here, you have to pass the budget, make sure that these officers are employed, they're working, and that is also for the rest of the township that provide vital and essential services to the residents and taxpayers of this township. Thank you.
Hello and good evening. My name is Michael Coyne and work for the Department of Public Works.
Point of order, I just have a council member that may want to speak.
Yes, I'd just like to comment.
Please.
We were fully intending that we believed everything was fully funded till the end of the month. The police department's new budget this year is $33 million for salary and wages. We've already authorized almost $20 million to date. So we're halfway through the year, yet we've approved like 2/3 for salary and wages. So the exact questions that you have are the exact questions that this body has, right? And that's to the administration that we've been asking and we can't get answers. In fact, I was a little disappointed in your local union. I would have thought that they would have put together an injunction the first that this happened, right, to get to the bottom and find where this funding is, because we don't know. As a council body, we don't know. The administration has these numbers. I only have the documents here that show that we authorized $19 million to date. In total for this year is $33 million, and I believe they only used a total of $28 million for salary and wages last year. So if you look at these numbers, there has to be money there. Where is it? We don't know. And we're 100% with you, and we plan on getting to the bottom of it. That would be it, Council President.
Thank you. Mr. Coyne, continue. Start the clock.
My name is Michael Coyne. I work for the Department of Public Works. I'm very proud to be an employee. And
You can speak closer to the mic. I'm sorry.
yeah. I also represent the union Teamsters 469. I am proud to be the union shop steward of my department of sanitation. And I'd like to respectfully say that I don't fully understand the inner workings of the administration and the council, but I appreciate it. I also know that you guys work your asses off to keep everything clean on the inside in these walls and behind the doors and doing your jobs and staying here late hours, and it doesn't go unnoticed. How it goes, I don't understand. But all I know is the firemen, the policemen, and the public works, we're doing it on the outside, and if these allocations aren't passed, I actually really fear what that means for the town, going from local news to national news. And, you know, I serve half of the people in this room, but they're trash and they're fire. You know, I'm not going to take too much time. I'm pleading that whatever it is, you guys work it out, whether it's in a month, whatever you guys do. I don't know your workings, but it's got to get figured out. And I'm pleading that this gets passed so we can all get back to work and make sure this town doesn't fall to shit. All right? Thank you.
Dan Boslett. Dan Boslett, you coming up? We're going to rotate. I have a few speakers, and I'll rotate. Is the line behind you, Sergeant? The next person can get ready to speak after Mr. Boslett.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for showing up tonight. It's important that we show a sign of force here. I've been in front of this microphone quite a few times. A lot of you guys know me personally. I've talked to you on the outside.
Can you speak closer to the mic, please, sir?
I've talked to you on the inside. I've talked to you on the outside of here. I've helped some of you with your campaigns. You know me. I've been here numerous times. I've asked for numerous things. I've left here elated, and I've left here disappointed, depending on how the outcome came. Every time before Monday that I was here, we had council members in their seats. To have 3 council members not show up for their job on one of the most important meetings of the year, not only disgraceful, it's disgusting. It's an absolute travesty that our members of this elected body who are being paid by this town to do your job don't show up. I'm not sure if anybody in this room that has a job that doesn't show up keeps their job. I don't know of any. I've had employees, when they don't show up, I fired them. Gotta get rid of them. They're useless at that point. To not agree on a budget and sit on your hands and stay home and not try to get this thing finalized, it's deplorable. Deplorable. I've lost all respect for the 3 members that were not here. The member that left halfway through, let me take my ball and leave because things aren't going my way. Okay, I guess we're going to be 5-year-olds now. No one else has that luxury in a job. No one else. To just up and leave. How can we command respect from the leaders of the town if you're not leading? I've been a leader. I've been in leadership positions here in my private life. I've never not shown up. At least call and make an excuse, other than I'm afraid to come in and do my job. What are we doing here? The thousands of people that have been affected by your actions, thousands. Now I get it, we don't all agree on the budget. That's what we're supposed to do. You guys are supposed to debate the budget. From what I understand, there has not been a single amendment proposed from that side of the room. Has there been one single amendment proposed for the 90 days that you've had the budget? Any? Have we had any? I don't think so. What we're asking for, the police department, and if it's okay with the rest of the people here, I'll speak for them. Do your job, get the budget passed, get this appropriation passed so that everybody benefits. The citizens, the employees, the kids in town. You've hurt everyone, and you don't seem to care. You really don't seem to care. And that's the most disturbing thing that I've seen, okay? There is no shame with any of you, and it's disturbing. It's very, very disturbing. I don't have much else to say. I don't have much else time. But do the right thing, get this appropriation done, and then figure out what you have to do to pass this budget. Because the town is relying on you. You were elected to these positions to do the job, not to have people furloughed and cut services.
Council President.
The question answered. One minute, Joyce Ship, point of order. To the BA, we had one question from Mr. Boslett. Were there any written amendments from any council members to you?
Council President, no.
Thank you.
Council President.
Yes. Before, point of order, Councilman Brescher has it.
I'd like to address it because his department is part of the major problem here. So, and where I'm going with that is I've requested the easy pass for this department, which amounts over $100,000. I've requested the gallonage, right, that was spent during the Lanky administration and this here now. He's a member of the department. He's heard me ask it at the last meeting, right? Does he get it? No. Have I received it? No. Until I receive it, I can't make a recommendation because it's not in the budget. It exists, but it is not in this budget. Somebody show me where it is so I can strike that line out, and we're going to get this budget passed. I'll amend to pass it tonight. Well, wait a minute. Easy pass and gallon.
Point of order. Point of order. We can't have that.
Point of order. Point of order.
Can't have that. We cannot have that. Councilman Brescher, finish.
It's
you don't have to leave.
It's $700,000 in take-home cars and fuel. I'm surprised that the union leadership has not sued the town. And let me tell you why. For one member to receive a benefit and the other members of the union not to receive a benefit is in the union, that they're all supposed to receive it. But over here, only certain officers get take-home cars in their union. And we want these take-home cars removed. Now, we wanted to create a law, and that law might say, you know, they can't leave Edison's property, right? So if you're an officer and you want to take the car home, you live in Edison, you probably don't have a problem. But we don't want to pay for guys that live in Tom's River. We don't want to pay for guys that live out in like Oxford, New Jersey, right? This is crazy for my residents to have to pay for cars, okay? And that's my big sticking point. It's been. And when we talk about why we didn't go to them, because I'm asking for the information so I could remove it from the budget line item, and I can't get this. I spoke to the attorney. I told them I'm going to the state because the state will force them to give me these numbers. And it's a total breakdown of everything that we've been looking for. And now, because my sergeant here doesn't understand how the budgets are done, I want to explain this to the public. If I did not walk out the other day and stop the quorum from voting, I would have voted no because I did not receive the documentation. If I voted no, you'd have to redo the document, the budget. You'd have to reintroduce it. The budget wouldn't be approved for a month and a half. So what I did was, it's called punting it. I punted it so that we can then get this information from the administration, which everybody thinks we should have anyway, and they have an additional 2 weeks to get it. To be perfectly honest with you, the BA and the police chief could probably get the information I'm asking for before we get through the speakers. But you're going to notice that I didn't get it. So I made a point at that meeting that I was looking for this documentation. My council president acknowledged it at that meeting. Here I sit today, a couple days later, I don't have documentation that's right inside their computer system, right? So you tell me where the problem is. It's not with this body, it's with the administration. And I agreed with the first speaker and my councilman Patil that there are certain people here should be struck from these appropriations and should not receive funds, whether that's the mayor, the council, the BA, who's ever part of holding up the problem, but everybody in this room should be paid, should be funded. And that would be it, Council President.
Thank you.
Council President, I wanted to make it,
Okay, sure.
unless you want her to go and then
Yes,
I
go
can
ahead.
respond. Council President, again, thank you. And you can watch all the prior council meeting. It's almost a year and a half. I'm asking the details on the miscellaneous funds that we are spending. Even in today's appropriations, it's not documented. Your eliminator, how much it cost. Your emails that goes out, how much it costs. Your text messages, I'm not talking about Nixle alert. That's important. How much it costs. This office, in fact, this town hall is being too political. And we don't know where we are spending the money. And that's exactly the fact we wanted to cut out of the budget. And I continue to ask that. It was refused. Oh, we moved it in. Now inside the town hall, still we don't know the printing cost. We don't know the mailing cost. I don't know. And you expect us to just suck it up without any answers from the administration and the vote on a budget? I am representing 100,000 people of this town, senior citizens, people who don't have jobs. My moral duty, fiduciary duty is to get that information and make sure I do the right, not to get bullied by the unions, not to get bullied by the people who are putting the signs outside is a disgrace. If you are really want to work with this council, you should come here, work with the council. Do we come to the headquarters and say how you do your business? We don't. We don't, right? There are robberies happening in my neighborhood. I asked the question to Chief, what happened to the North Edison, your substation? Did I make the noise of that? I'm representing here 100,000 people, not handful. I applaud all your service, and it's my record in last 12 years. I have always said we have the finest police department and the fire department in the state of New Jersey. I always supported this thing, and tonight we had a full intent to support you. If we would have showed up, this budget would have failed, all of you would have lost the job. In fact, we help you to be here rather than you pointing the fingers at us saying you didn't do your job. Go and do your homework and see how the budget process works. If we have said no, there would have been a much bigger problem in the town hall. It was a courtesy saying, hey, let's move this budget. At least we'll be forced to do the temporary appropriation so we can run the business going forward. Again, thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Ms. Shipp, continue.
Yes.
Start the clock, please, 4 minutes.
As a retired union member, still a union member.
And I apologize, Ms. Shipp, if you can do your best to bring the mic closer. There's a lot of people in the room.
As a retired union member, all right, I think that it's better that you look at the budget than we turn in Jersey City, because I don't want a furlough to be a layoff. That's what's going to happen with the money, all right, when you play with it. And we have our mayor playing 3-card Molly, getting on Channel 12, Channel 4, calling people on the phone, creating complete chaos in the town, making everybody go against each other. instead of everybody coming together to work for something good. And I know about the budget. You have to get the information. Oh, I didn't get amendment. Well, guess what? You didn't give me the information that I needed, so how I'm going to amend something when I'm asking you how it's done? I'm looking over here at, they call it the Grove, 110,000 spent on a kitty litter box. That 100,000 could have been spent on the recreation people's salary. So let's tell the whole story. It ain't just about you guys up there. It's the mayor playing big games, making everybody play with each other. You juniors, y'all better come in, because you know I was nice to y'all. Y'all better come in and take care of me, even though I'm doing a horrible job at management of money of this town. Okay? Everybody gonna be real mad afterwards when the layoffs come and when Jersey City taxes, when everything go up to 20%. No, he's so busy messing around with the board and Ed and everything, he's not taking care of this town. So everybody can get mad at you all they want, but guess what? You need the information so that we don't go bankrupt. And I know everybody's, oh, it's about me, it's about me, it's about me. Yeah, it's about me too. I'm older. I pay taxes, other people. And when you get up and you talk about the union and everything, talk about the other people in the town. Don't just talk about the police. Don't just talk about the fire. Talk about the whole town. We're Edison, okay? Don't just be standing up asking for one group or another group, okay? If the mayor wants y'all all fighting with each other and y'all all acting crazy, and let me tell you something. I know for a fact, when I did my budget back and forth, Maureen supplied everything I needed. And I remember this same mayor, 2.5 hours, he grilled Linky on the budget. Now all of a sudden you ask him about the budget, he got 3 minutes. He can't even talk to anybody about it. And that's what I call disrespectful. You're disrespecting the people who's supposed to be taking care of this town. This is not a one-man show for an egomaniac. And I'm not looking for claps. I'm not looking for applause, because you know why? I come to all these meetings. There'd be about 10 of us here. And some of the people that's out there in the hall is the actual people that try to keep everybody on their toes. Thank you.
Thank you. Is my mic working? Mr. Tar, please come up. And also have Edison PBA president will be next.
Don Tar, 52 Reeder Road. Previous speakers, I've heard anger, I've heard dismay, I've heard dissent, I've heard the word shame. But I'd like to throw another word in, because this is what I feel. I feel a deep sense of betrayal. When I voted for many of you on this dais, in my own mind, I set up certain qualifications. You must always act in the best interest of the citizens of Edison. You must always be honest with the citizens of Edison. And since you are paid to attend these meetings, you must attend them. And if you cannot attend them, you must give a valid reason, a compelling reason for not attending, and you must communicate that to the board president. These are just basic facts of honor, dignity, and integrity. Having a seat on the city council requires you oftentimes to make difficult decisions. Decisions you may find to be unpleasant. Decisions you would rather not make. But you are paid to make those decisions. If you are unable, if you are unwilling to make those decisions, you should not be sitting on that dais. On Monday evening, I and many of these people here attended a meeting similar to this. We sat here, we waited. Council president told us he was waiting for someone to make a determination on whether they wanted to come or not. Make a determination on whether you want to come or not? That's not a question. And it's certainly not an answer when you don't show up. You know, you lost my trust. Of course, you've lost my vote, but you lost my trust. And I remember an old political saying that some of you may have heard before. Trust is like virginity. Once you lose it, it's lost forever.
Ms. Jaffe, you'll be next. Ms. Diana, you'll be next speaker. You'll be the next speaker, Diana. Yes, welcome, PBA President Edison.
Good evening, Council President, members of the Town Council. My name is Michael Pipperato, and I have the honor of serving as President of Edison PBA Local Number 75. Seated to my right here are 8 of the 10 Edison police officers who have been already furloughed. They are not here to make a political statement. They are here because they want to come back to work and continue serving the residents of Edison. Throughout this room are dozens more officers and their families. If emergency appropriations are not approved tonight, another 44 officers are expected to be furloughed. Those aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet. They are mothers and fathers, husbands and wives, sons and daughters. They are the police officers who have dedicated themselves to protecting this community. Our officers don't choose when they're needed. They show up every day, every night, every holiday, and every emergency because that's what the people of Edison expect of them. Tonight, we are asking the same of you. Regardless of where each of you may stand on the broader budget, this evening presents an opportunity to prevent additional furloughs, restore essential township operations, and provide stability to the employees and residents who depend on your leadership. This is bigger than politics. It's about people and their livelihoods. The officers standing here have already fulfilled their oath to the people of Edison. Tonight, I respectfully ask each of you to fulfill yours. Thank you.
Thank you.
Council President.
Just, Ms. Jaffe, Diana, just 1 second, point of order. Councilman Patil.
Question to administration or the CFO. How much is our reserve balance as of today? Reserve balance.
Which account?
Or surplus.
Oh, surplus.
Yes.
We have approximately $4 million remaining.
$4 million. Now, your answer to your question. The surplus is meant to use for emergencies. This was the emergency. Mayor could have done a better job not letting people go. Or another account, they could have pulled the money. We are transferring the money left and right. Which account?
It's not a matter of having
an
money,
inaccurate
Councilman.
statement.
We need council authorization to spend money. We can't just arbitrarily decide it because we have money sitting in an account. We need council authorization to be able to spend
that authorization could have been very well made the last meeting if you have disclosed that we have only payroll until 22nd, things would have been completely different. That's my question there.
Council,
Let me ask the question.
That is not an accurate
Any council
statement.
member was aware?
Point of order. We just, Councilman Patil, if you don't mind, as a courtesy, would you allow them to answer the question and ask another question? Just so let's have a back and forth.
I don't need answer because I know it will be given in a different.
Okay.
I'm going through for 4 years.
Okay.
My question to this council: how many of you were aware that our appropriations were only until 22nd? How many of you?
I was told the end of the month.
Same.
Councilman Patel?
Actually, hold on a second here. This Monday's meeting was originally scheduled for Wednesday.
That's true.
And we moved it because a council member couldn't be here on Wednesday. We moved it to Monday. At that time, nobody said, hey, Wednesday's meeting, by the way, when we come to the municipal building, nobody's going to be here because they're going to be furloughed that morning before the vote. So somebody's playing games.
Right. There's money there. The administration's not paying you. They're furloughing you.
Just point of order. If we can each speak through the council president, just so we have a back and forth, please do not jump over the bow. Out of respect to the next speaker and those council members that want to speak, please address the council president first before you speak.
Yeah, Council President,
Okay, please
that's
continue.
exactly the reason I asked the question, because Lot many people have the understanding that this council did this service. In fact, no. It's a lack of information to this council body, and I kind of putting the facts together. When our speaker is going to speak, I'm going to put the fact together so that media captures what the true game is here, is the fact. Thank you, Councilman Patel.
Council President. Could we allow the BA just to answer the question, and could please not interrupt her? Please speak close to the mic.
Council President, thank you. The council, the entire body, for the last 5 months has had financial documents that we put together, line by line item. You've got the surplus balances, you've got the reserve balances. Actually, we did a study of all of our reserve accounts. Councilman Shmuel was the only one who gave us a very thorough list of questions, and we provided it, and we did a bunch of analysis. So all of that was provided to you equally, as we always do. Our finance director, I'm sorry, my finance director has been wanting to say something. Thank you.
So I just want to clarify that when it was indicated that we had budget capacity to the end of July. The last payroll in July is July 20th. So that's what created the problem. When we did not adopt the budget at the regularly scheduled meeting or address the temporary emergency appropriations that were on the agenda, that's what caused the problem.
Understood, and I'm not denying that, but I know Councilman Patel wants to talk. Did ever one of you brought that to the council attention, that if budget is not passed, this situation will happen?
Yes, sir. We have explicitly told the council that.
Which council members? I did not hear.
All of you.
Well, hold on a minute here. I told council.
Just point of order. Just one.
Council President.
We can't allow lies.
President, you were aware I was out of the country.
Yes.
You were aware I was out of the country, and we moved the meeting date.
Councilman Patel, you want to respond? Are you aware?
Council President. Go ahead.
If they can have point of order so I can speak.
Just, please, point of order. Hey, in all respect, if you continue to speak when a member is speaking, I will ask you once to stop. The second time, you'll get a second, and the third time, you have to leave. Okay, such as that a courtesy so we can hear one another. I understand it's difficult to stop people from crossing the bow and saying something, but we have to understand to have some balance here in order. Councilman Patel, please speak.
Thank you, Council President. So I did not plan this to speak at this portion. I had something written down later on when we vote about this. And I wasn't feeling well on Monday, so I could not come here. And I had a surgery yesterday, and I am here today because we know what's upon us, and that is very, very important. I acknowledge and understand that. My understanding was from last meeting, and Sonia, correct me if I'm wrong, from what I heard and from what sitting here I heard is we approved appropriations until July 31st, right? Now, I'm not going to detail of what happened afterwards, but that is the understanding we left this council chambers from, said we are funded until July 31st. If the meeting did not happen on Monday for certain reasons, there has to be emergency meeting, which is today. But in my mind, if I knew that this was going to be the situation where the funding is going to run out and there are going to be layoffs, I would never, ever do anything myself that would create this situation. So if we were made aware that today's meeting, if something happens or whatever situation, rather than assuming tomorrow there is going to be layoffs, then I'll be the first person, even if I'm limping, I'm on the hospital bed, I will make sure I come, right? This is so important. It is very important. The layoffs is the last thing I want for anyone. Suffering myself from it, right now, from some time now. So I take it very seriously. This is the last thing I want. I was truly under the impression that we are funded until July 31st. Yes, we have to come here, make decisions, which we are here today. But I don't understand why the layoffs happened yesterday. So I will wait for more information. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Just before you speak, just as a privilege on this topic, I don't believe it was the intentions of the members of the council who may not have showed up or walked out on Monday to not pass the temporary appropriations. Temporary appropriations we do all the time. A senior member of the council is Councilman Patil. He's passed more than 75 of these temporary appropriations, never asked a question. It's a normal thing we do. We pass temporary appropriations until we pass our budget. This is a norm. So what happened on Monday, in defense of the council members, I don't believe that was their goal to not pass that. The goal was to try to cut the budget, and whatever choice they made not being here, I'm not a part of that. I was here, and members of the council were here. If those who choose want to penalize us and not pay us, so be it. But we showed up and we were here to vote, and those who could have cut this budget could have come here and asked for amendments. But at the same time, as we're speaking today and listening to us have discussions, the facts are today we're just going to pass the appropriations. That's all we're doing today. On the 3rd, so we can stop speaking, move to a vote, and be done in 15 minutes. I'm not saying your value is not worth it here, but if we're going to continue to go on, you can. Every member has a chance to speak. But the fact is, let me be clear. We always pass appropriations. It's the norm. The fact that the mayor decided to sound the alarm 7 days before the end, I think it was a good idea. Would you like us to tell you when it's too late and the tidal wave's coming at us? What if the tone of this council didn't come to this meeting? Tell me what we would have done. It's a tough break there. What do you do when your husband is laid off? When does he tell you? The day he's laid off, or it's the last paycheck? He comes home and says, honey, I'm laid off. He tells you that day. So I think the mayor acted accordingly for the time frame we have and the panic button of what could happen and the unintended consequences of this town. It's a norm. And the fact that it's happened, these members here today can vote on it and we move forward. And on the 3rd, we can argue about the budget all day. We can argue about easy pass, what information wasn't shared. That could be an all-day scramble. But today, we're doing our norm. We're doing what we always do, is pass temporary appropriations. So if the council members could stay out of that lane, let's just pass this part. In the public portion, you can do whatever you want. You want to talk more about things, you can gaslight whatever you like. I just hope we can stay in that lane as a courtesy. Thank you. Please speak, Ms. Starr. Ms. Jaffe.
Good evening. Diana Jaffe, 86 Laurel Hollow Court. My husband, former councilman Massaro, was not able to be here tonight, so he asked me to deliver this on his behalf. Quote, I have been a participant of local government for many years. I've had the opportunity to observe local government, deliberate upon and resolve some complex issues. The council I was on taught me to argue amongst ourselves and with the mayor and with the administration. We all knew that when we were elected, our responsibility was to listen, to think, to speak up, and vote for the residents of Edison. Most often, our sometimes heated disagreements were very open. Sometimes they were resolved through normal procedures, and we knew we had to vote ultimately on the facts. As elected officials, you might be able to dishonorably run away from your responsibilities, but you cannot hide. Vote the way you need to, based upon the facts. If you are in disagreement with some part of this budget, I would like to see your amendments. And while there is much debate about this one issue, the one thing Tony Massaro says is not up for debate is that Council President Coyle is an honorable man. He said, as a footnote, if you cut $755,000 from this budget, you will save 1 penny for each taxpayer. And that's what his message was to you. I have a few seconds. I just want to add what a ripple effect this has had upon some residents. A woman I know in Edison tried to she's selling her house. She was supposed to get a CO so she could move out. Other people could move in. Now there's no inspectors. She's supposed to close today. Not going to happen. Think of the thousands of people in town who are going through the same thing. What this does to families. What this does to never mind the real estate, but she's suffering. People aren't, have houses to live in, and this causes just horrible effects on the rest of the town. So thank you very much for listening.
Yep. Can I have the next public resident, please? Go to our President Walsh of the Fire Department, please. Next. Yeah, you're going first. I'm sorry. Yeah, we're going to just, we're trying to squeeze in 2 residents before union officials.
Can I speak? Thank you. My name is Jamie Goldman.
Welcome. Please continue.
My name is Jamie Goldman. I'm a resident of Edison. I was born here. I have 2 jobs. I'm an attorney and I'm a realtor. And I'm raising my child here alone. And I would love to stay in Edison. I love living here. It's a great community. It's diverse. Everyone gets along. But I have to tell you, I have doubts about staying here. It's terrifying to think that 10 officers are furloughed. It's terrifying to think that 44 more may be furloughed, and maybe I call 911 and no one shows up. That's not where I want to raise my child. And it's very disappointing. I work every single day to pay my bills and support my child, and it's very disappointing to hear that 3 councilmen don't even show up on such an important vote. I got to tell you, people are not going to want to move to Edison anymore because it looks chaotic. And it doesn't look like the government knows what they're doing, and they're going to be concerned and maybe move to a different town that has their act together. So I implore you to pass this temporary budget, get your act together, come to these meetings, and do your job. Because if I don't do my job, I get fired. And then I don't pay my rent. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you.
Vice President for taking over while I stepped out. We haven't, just going to Mr. Walsh. You're on a Union Fire Department.
Doing Jim Walsh, President of the Edison Firefighters Association. Council President, I'm going to keep my comments short so we can get through a line because there's a lot of people here to talk. I will.
If you can speak close to the mic, please. You're tall.
It's not exactly made for tall people.
We will, if we knew you were coming, we would have put some chalks under this podium.
I would have appreciated that.
Okay, next time.
You can take it down. I hope there's not a next time for me to have to come up and talk.
You're right.
As a 54-year resident of this township where I live with my wife and 2 kids, I'm extremely disappointed. As the union president of the 113 uniformed firefighters of this town, again, I'm extremely disappointed. I'm going to speak and urge all of you to pass this appropriations so that our furloughed workers can come back to work, the town can continue to operate, and the residents are not placed in any type of more danger by the layoffs of, the furloughs of police officers and the state of the understaffed department, the fire department that you've left us with. There's a lot of talk, and you're saying that as council, which, by the way, the budget's your budget now. It ain't the mayor's or the administration's, it's yours. You made that abundantly clear here when we were here the last time on May 20th. You also looked us in the eye and said there wouldn't be a problem. This is a problem. You're saying that the funding happened all the way up until you had appropriations until July 31st. If that was the case, when you set a meeting for August 3rd, how many people are going to get furloughed over that weekend? I work on that weekend. The police officers work. In fact, we have public DPW workers that work that weekend. Did anybody not think about that? So you're saying, oh, you're funded till the 31st of July. Okay, what were you going to do over the weekend? You know what the heck, no one's working. Yeah, no, people are working. Again, strongly urge you to please pass this resolution and let's get back to work.
Thank you. Come up from AFSCME Local 3269. Oh, Lola. Oh, Lila. Sorry. I just got shot in the foot there. I've known you for a long time.
My name is irrelevant this evening, anyhow.
And if you don't, I apologize. Yeah. Because you're tall, you have to pull that mic pretty strong to you and speak as deep into as you can, like it's karaoke, okay? Because it's everybody wants to hear you.
I represent AFSCME Local 3269 as president, and as we convene here this evening, approximately
You can
94
pull it out of there too if you want. Just pull it out.
Approximately 94% of my membership is furloughed. The lesser pronounced services have been stripped from the residents of this community, and the energy and the emotion in this room is quite palpable this evening also. I would, however, first like to express my own gratitude to all of the men and women in the police department, all of the men and women in the fire department, all of the men and women in public works, and those in the water and sewer utility department. I'm getting there. And then there are those lesser pronounced departments, as I mentioned. The men and the women of the unsung services, if you will, who deserve no less illumination. The ever helpful and informative clerk's office, Edison TV. And as we are gathered here tonight, our 911 telecommunications staff is tirelessly addressing emergency calls from the public, though with limited staffing. The administrative and support staff throughout the entire township, in municipal court, police records, police and fire administration, within the Criminal Investigation Bureau and the Traffic Division, to the environmental public health staff, vital statistics, the animal shelter, which is also currently operating with limited staff, the Senior Citizen Center, public health nursing staff, and the Recreation Department, the tax assessors and collection office, finance and payroll, to the deputy fire marshals, zoning and engineering staff, CDBG and code enforcement personnel. It's a pretty large network of people coming together every single day to serve this greater community. The residents deserve recognition also and are deserving of all of the services that this municipality has to offer. But right now, the very symbol of this town is being eclipsed, and it is getting darker. So I insist that all parties involved in the decision-making process affecting the livelihoods of this internal community align themselves, uphold their duties, and dispel the darkness. Restore all services to the residents and businesses so that we may actually serve. We all work for and represent the town to the best of our capabilities, and afforded the opportunity, will continue to do so. As I stated, I represent AFSCME Local 3269. I stand here before you on behalf of all of my colleagues, and I will continue to stand. Only in true solidarity will the principles this town was founded upon truly begin to resonate. The sixth largest municipality in the state of New Jersey, 108,000 residents, countless community engagement. Look at this emblem, it's everywhere. It's on the walls, it's on the floor. I implore you, all of you, let there be light for all. Thank you.
Forgive me for some of our conversations we're having sidebar. We're trying to see how we can get to a vote sooner and have this vote come to order before, and then the other comments will come at public comment. At this time, we had, who's in line next for the public? Chris, sir, you're here, okay, please. Okay.
Hi, good evening. My name is Kulbinder Dhamija, 10 Sturgis Road. I've been coming to the town meetings for last couple of months, and I have a sense of what goes on here. And that we as residents, we choose the council and choose the mayor, and they do the job to the best of their abilities. I trust them all. And here I am, what I hear, the way the thing works here in this town or anywhere, other places also, that people have a budget, so whatever they want is funded. That's the issue. It should be need basis. What the town needs should be funded. And the administration or the council will never change this process. Because when they are in a chair, they get tied down to a chair. They are not independent anymore. It's people like me across the fence this side who have a thought process which we can speak out and we can request, ask. And I would request that it's the citizens, it's the residents who should decide the number of budget. I don't know what the process is going to be, through a referendum or it's through a ballot, whatever it is. The residents decide 150 million budget we are giving you for the next year. And it's given in the November. And then the mayor, council, the union presidents, the vendors who have interested parties, they all sit together and they hash it out, who gets what. Rather than filling up all the buckets and then they're emptying the buckets. There's too much waste. An example of waste which I've been after is the township they are renting a copier. For a month, they are paying $500. Can you believe? $500 to rent a copier.
Sir, I don't mind. If you can address the council president.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not
just
aware.
out of respect.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
no problem.
not aware.
Fine, it's no problem. Continue.
So thing is, wasteful expenses, whether it's overtime, or, the tenor, we can line up. I'm not much aware. If you show me the numbers, there are hundreds of items which can be taken out, which are there because the budget is there. Because you have $180 million. You ask for it, and there are people. It's like a warehouse. You tell the residents, hey, come, give us money. So truckloads of money comes in. You give it monthly, quarterly. And the budgets, people come with their bags. They fill up the thing, pick up trucks, and walk away with the money. And some of it is thrown away. So wasteful expense is my problem. The budget can be $200 million. I'm okay with that. But spend it gainfully. Spend it for the welfare of the residents and not for welfare of a part of somebody. I'm not aware of the things, but I see the money being wasted. So please keep a check on that. And being a government job, we are so settled that if I provide these amenities to people, I keep my job. That's a good thing. But to improve, every time the township or the government will add layers. We already have 10 layers, they'll put an 11th layer, 12th layer. But if you are efficient, thinking differently, you will take out 5 layers and put two efficient layers. So there are only 7 layers doing the same job at less cost. That thinking can only come if the budget is limited, if the residents have some control on the budget.
Just point of order, stop the clock. You have 20 seconds left. If you can, and you could please just address the temporary appropriations. I just want to give you the time because you went out of your lane. I just want to give you time to address the temporary appropriations, what's in that spending that you'd like to support or not support.
Sure.
Okay, it's a lot of it's employees and operating expenses. If there's something in there, you have your 20 seconds.
Thank you.
Thank you. Continue.
See, what I would state is that all the jobs of all the employees should be sacred, should be kept intact for the whole year, next year. There should be a process which every employee knows, my job is safe, I'll get my salary. That's the job of mayor and the council and administration. They assure all the employees their job is secure for next 365 days.
Thank you. Before we continue, I just want to get a temperature of the audience that is here and the residents that choose to speak. Shortly, I'm going to ask the council if we can move to the vote for what's necessary, which is the temporary spending, this emergency spending, as I mentioned before. Everyone here is going to still get a chance to speak after it is voted on. If you're coming to the microphone, I just want to make a point to you. Your issue to speak on this resolution is not public comment on anything and everything. It's just about what you may or may not like about this temporary spending. If you were to choose to say, I don't like the salary and wages, I don't like the operating expenses of this, it has to be specific by line item what you do not like about this resolution. If I don't keep us in order, we're going to start moving all over the place. In this portion of this time frame is just to speak on the resolutions, which is the temporary budget operation for the emergency spending that's needed just to move the town into the next month. That's all we're doing. We're not doing the budget. That'll be August 3rd. So I just want to make people clear. If you're going to come to the microphone, please speak on that clearly, and that would be helpful. I'm also going to ask that we move to the vote shortly after this next speaker as a courtesy, if you choose to, and the council agrees, we'll adjourn the public speaking and we'll move right to the vote. If someone specifically wants to say something about this resolution, I will make sure you still speak. I will also ask our deputy clerk to please go downstairs to the hallway and also into the first floor and ask people who want to speak specific on the temporary budget. Okay, so if we know that, we could at least get to the vote and what's most important. Please come up. Hey, please. Nice to see you. Welcome. If you don't mind, if you can speak closer to the mic, that would be helpful. It's not, is it on? Okay. It's not on. Timer is set. Timer started. You can't hear her. Okay, can you stop the clock? Oh, you do it? Okay. Sorry about that. Let me clear. Okay, I can go start over. Okay, sure. Is it working now? Okay, we're going to change microphones. I apologize for the AV system here. In the budget, we also have, just so you know, for those who care, in the budget, we do want a new AV system, so please let me know if you're going to be supporting that.
Money.
Welcome, please. We're starting the clock. Continue. Thank you.
79 6th Street, Edison, New Jersey. I lived in the neglected Clara Barton area, and which you represent, by the way. And I know as soon as I come to the table, the rule of the game will change. Sam is the mayor. Is the one that called for this emergency meeting. Where is he? He should be here listening to us. The taxpayers are the one that bankroll or pay salaries. So it's like you have to listen to those people that you represent. There's no way on earth that these honorable men and women should be here for long. It's like gross irresponsibility for people to work and not to get the money they deserve. And you ask the police to stop or everybody that is affected. I think they should get their money and Sam should not get any of the salary. By the way, the usual way that the politics is being played, we've started seeing a lot of adverts that are not reasonable. They mentioned Aji Patil, Richard Brecher, some of Kentos and everybody. They pointed to them, shame on them. Who are the people paying for these adverts? I hope it's not the taxpayers' money. Sam should be here. And if there's anything that is presented on the table, if questions are asked, he should be here answering those questions. It's very, very important. If they notice that the budget is blown into inappropriate proportion as it is, if anybody asks a question, there should be somebody answering them. The wastage is too much, and you guys have to take care of it. It is very, very sad that these honorable people, you refuse to pay them or you ask them to go without no job. If Sam can go on Facebook, if he can call everybody at home to narrate stories that are not right or not correct, he should be here listening to everybody. And those people that are enabling and babying him, you guys need to talk to him. He got to act right. He's young. Now we have a mayor in New York that is doing the right thing. He could take a notebook and learn from him. You guys have to stop the wastage. Summer is all fine and cool and good now. By the time winter comes, what happened to the water main breaks? What happened to the pipe? The question I'm being asked now, The chairman is standing up, going up and down without sitting and listening to it. It's time that Joe walk. And everybody here take decision and do something right. We will be back here the way you treated us in Clarabati. You make a rule, you come and cut it into two, divide it into 4. Stop wasting our time. We are tired. We pay taxes, things should work hard. And if any of these people ask you questions, answer them. I know for the people that will talk to Sam, he needs to do right by people. He should be here listening and answering questions from the residents. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. At this time, I'm asking for residents who want to speak clearly on the resolution to adopt the temporary budget, specifically to talk about what's in the temporary budget. We have to be mindful of what we talk about during that process. All public comments will be held at the end, but for those who'd like to see this point passed or voted on, or it would give that courtesy. Is there anybody that wants to continue speaking on the temporary budget specifically? Mr. Benjavanga? Hey, Sue, you can go first.
Sue Malone Barber.
Welcome.
Pleasant Avenue. I think, my opinion is, you should absolutely pass this appropriation bill tonight, and I am in favor of the suggestion to just call a vote.
Thank you.
Now. But I have comments. It's unfortunate that we're here. And I think it's important to understand that the 4 councilmen who could not vote on the budget, who would have to vote no, the situation would have been much worse if it had gone for a vote on Monday night and 4 of them voted no. You'd have to start over. So I am in the camp where I do not blame the council for this at all. You can't unanimously pass a budget and a vote when you don't have the information you need to pass it. And I support the councilmen who stood their ground on that. It's unfortunate that the administration doesn't answer the questions and give the information and allow them to look under the hood. That's all I'll say on that. It's unfortunate we're here, but we are here. Pass it. Pass it now. Call a vote now. Pass it.
Thank you.
But
Thank you very much.
Somehow figure out what happens on August 3rd. You got to get these gentlemen are entitled to, it's their obligation to insist on other cuts to that budget. And the administration has to play. That's the obligation. That's what it takes.
Thank you very much. Mr. Benjavanga, be specific on the temporary budget, what's in the budget, and we could not repeat the same comments. It would be appreciated. Thank you.
Absolutely.
As a courtesy.
Absolutely, President Joe Coyle. Andrew Benjavanga, best known as Ben from Edison. Do I have the floor?
Yes.
Thank you. Wow. Last time I spoke, here's the thing, I haven't spoken in a while. I've been hearing a lot of commotion about this budget. It's been we got the media over here. Shout out to the media, to all the unions. Can I ask a question to the chair, to the furloughs of the officers and the firefighters? Are they here? Can you please raise your hand if you were furloughed?
They're to your right, sir, right there. Sir, and Mr. Benjavanga, to the right, they're in the front row.
They're in the front?
Yes.
I'm sorry that this happened to you guys, but let's make sure we can pass this budget, because enough is enough. We don't need the media. We don't need all this attention. This attention was brought by Mr. Joshi himself. This would be avoided if they didn't furlough all these officers and these firefighters. We need these people. Crime is happening every single minute, like it's a New York City thing. Sorry, New York, but I had to put you involved. But Listen, I love this town. We have like almost 197 officers, but comparing to 2025, what was the last time we passed the budget? Was it 2025? Compared to that, to this budget, I was told it was a 6% increase.
So, point of order,
if that was
Mr. Pennsylvania, could you be specific to
Compare
the temporary, to what line item in the temporary appropriations that you disagree with or agree with?
I don't disagree with anything. I just want this to be passed. I think time is wasting, and we should just sign this and let's keep going with Edison. Let's go.
Great, thank you.
Sign this.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I love you all. Edison residents, we got you. We got your back.
If it's possible as a courtesy, I'm going to ask if we can take a motion to adjourn the public comments for the resolution only. Listen, I'm not.
I think that's a good idea, Mr. Coyle.
Down. As a courtesy, if we can get to the vote, the specifics of what I'm asking, I'm not stopping the two of you from speaking, but if I can, is my mic on or not? If I can just ask, we're just trying to get to the vote. We have some council comments. After that, you can talk about the entire budget. You can talk about anything you want on that. But today, what's happening right now is we're not being specific on the appropriations and talking about a line item we disagree with. We're generalizing the same thing we would do in the public session. Is it possible we can come together and agree to make a motion to adjourn the public portion on the resolutions only to move to a vote? Fair enough? Okay. Motion from the council.
Second.
Do I have a second?
To adjourn. Second.
Motion to close the public portion.
Close the public portion.
Of the resolutions only. Okay. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Couldn't hear the council. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you.
Just making sure.
Okay. At this time, we do have some disagreements at this time, and I may have to speak to our counselor on what we can and cannot pull. As council president, I'd like to see this entire temporary appropriations be passed. Some members disagree. Some members may believe that by them not showing up, I shouldn't get paid, or others shouldn't get paid. Some members may believe that the administration should not get paid. That would stop them from working. Okay, so we're going to have to hear out some comments. They have the right to speak. They have the right to say. But I have never heard ever us send our BA home to not do her job, or Kendra Roberts home. In fact, Mr. DeRoberts is working here without a contract. So thank you for being here, Mr. DeRoberts, because we held his contract. So I just... Now, moving forward, when we do the budget, they can cut anything they like on the budget. Salary and wages, they have the choice to cut operating expenses. They can cut a lot from the budget. But tonight, we're just looking to do our normal temporary budget that we've done for decades. Again, I've done more than 75 with Councilman Patil. I've done close to 55 with Councilmember Brescher. That's a normal thing we do, temporary appropriations. However, I hope that they will yield and reconsider that point. I cannot control what they choose to do, so we may have to go for a vote on each single one, or we will bring them together to vote, pulling those items on the resolution spend list for the temporary budget. So I hope you understand that's going to be a little bit of time, but we will get to that. Okay? So please be patient, and thank you.
Council President?
Yes.
May I? I don't think we need to pull all of them, except one or two, but, I would like to pull council salaries and wages for a separate vote, because I'll not be supporting these, because we collectively failed to get to the agreement for the budget, and I don't think it's an appropriate to penalize the rest of the employees of Edison Township. We are the political entity, and I think we deserve not to have this in the appropriation. Thank you, Council President.
So
I'm sorry.
Councilor, just direct us, please.
Yeah, sorry. So if I may, so there are two resolutions on the agenda tonight. Councilman, if you wish to amend any of the resolutions to strike any of the line items, that would be a motion to amend that resolution. You would then propose your amendment, and then the council would have an opportunity to vote on that amendment only. The amendment, just so everyone understands, voting to amend the resolution is not a vote on the resolution itself. It's just simply altering the resolution as presented, and then a second vote would occur as to whether or not the resolution then proceeds.
Yes.
So if you want, if there's a specific ordinance that, or excuse me, a specific resolution you'd like to address, you can make that motion.
It's just the appropriation for council salary and wages that's being flagged here for $14,250.06 for number 4, TA number 4. I would like to strike that to 0.
Do we have a motion on the table to strike the salaries of the council? Do I have a second? Have a second from Council Vice President Kentos.
Roll call.
No, let me just no. The vote. Can you just clarify the vote, Councilor?
Yeah. So
if you're voting no, you're voting. Just go over the clarify.
Yes, I'm sorry. So this is a vote to amend the resolution to reduce the council salaries and wages as proposed from $14,250.06 to 0. The vote is the vote of yes reduces it, and a vote of no would leave the dollar amount as is.
Okay. And can I have council comments?
President? Is this for the appropriations for this month, or
this resolution is only for the appropriations? So
how does it work? If you could explain.
All right. So just so everyone understands, by statute, the township is only able to expend funds that have been authorized by the council. So if the council chooses to reduce this line item to 0, the township is then unable to make any payments on that particular line item. So as the council salary, if the council doesn't authorize the township to pay council salaries, the township is not able to then legally make those payments. And that is true for, by the way, every line item on the temporary appropriations. This is, yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I think that clears it up.
Just want to clarify on that. You know, if the council agrees to pass the budget, this will be released.
So, I'm sorry?
When the council passes the budget, this will be released. This will be restored.
Yeah. So this is a temporary appropriation. So in the absence of a budget, the township is not able to spend any money on anything from salary, services, or anything, absent a temporary appropriation. So this is a temporary authorization to spend funds out of what we anticipated the budget being. If there is no temporary appropriation passed, then effectively the township doesn't have the authority to spend anything outside of the remaining dollars in the last appropriation. You can choose to amend the appropriation and you can reduce the amount of money. It just reduces the amount of money that the township is able to spend until this runs out or until the budget is passed. Once the budget is passed, that supersedes everything. I hope that answers your question.
Okay, you finished, Councilman Patil? Can I move the council comments to my right? Councilman Brescher, any comments?
I'm sorry, there was a motion on the table to amend. Yeah.
We make
There's a motion on the table. We got to vote.
If you want to do council, I'm sorry, there was an initial motion, but if you'd rather do council.
We always do council comments. Am I wrong, Councilman Patil? You correct me all the time.
No, you can make the comments.
Okay, okay. Any council comments?
Absolutely your discretion.
I'm confused. I'm baffled when I do it and baffled when I have to.
Listen, I believe this turned into a total debacle, right? Whether the administration's wrong, because I don't understand where all this money went. You know, they've received 74%. We're only at 55% for the year.
Point of order, Mr. Brescher. If you just can stick to, we're just sticking to whether we're getting paid or not.
No, there's Council President, there's a motion on the table.
Okay.
Listen.
Yes. Yes.
Listen,
Go ahead.
We're having double standards here. We always take a motion, we have a second, and we have council comments. But you want a roll call? We can roll call. Not a problem. Roll call.
Councilmember Brescher.
Yes.
Councilmember Dima.
No.
Councilmember Kentos.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
No.
Council President Coyle.
No.
That's 4 yeses?
Mm-hmm. That's 4 yeses.
Okay. So, all right. So the resolution 401-072-026 is hereby amended. The line item for council salaries and wages is amended to 0.
Council President.
Terrible. Terrible. I'm baffled, but it's okay. Can we go to the council comment? Wait up. We're going to go to the next.
Go ahead, do comment.
Let's just no. We're finished. We're finished with that part. We're going to go to the next line item. He wants some. Any other line items that you want to move? Is that it? Are we moving to vote now? Are you finished, Councilman Patil? You finished? Okay. Can I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Council President, I have a motion.
Okay, please go ahead.
I'd like to, a motion to amend R401, 072, 026, mayor salaries and wages, drop it to 0. Till the budget's passed.
Oh, back on to.
We can all feel the heat.
Typically you do, but they're taking motions on the floor and then moving to amend it. So, I mean, technically, if there's a motion and a second, it's a vote. Yeah.
We won't vote, no problem. Okay, do you have a second? Do you have a second to remove the mayor's salary from the temporary appropriations budget?
I'll second that.
Okay, Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Brescher.
Yes.
Councilmember Dima.
No.
Councilmember Kentos.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
No.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
No.
Council President Coyle.
No.
Does not pass. Four noes.
Did not,
So the motion does not pass, and the resolution is not amended.
so basically, the mayor gets paid for the work he's doing right now for the next 2 days. Because tonight, when we pass this, everybody gets paid. So hopefully it works out. And do we have another amendment?
Yes, Council President.
Councilmember Brescher.
I need guidance through the attorney. In here, there's lumped together. So we have the business administrator. That's not just her salary.
No.
That's other people's salary, right? We have the police salary and wages, right? But the chief is in that salary and wages. And I'll tell you a part that I struggle with. I can't get the information about the Easy Pass. The BA has explained that it's with the police department. So,
Hold on.
so
We need to
be
maintain
honest,
decorum, please.
Since I can't get that, right, I'd like to withhold those pays until we can sort that out, because that's where the problem is originating.
So I'm sorry, which salaries would you?
Well, it would be the BA or the chief. They can have a discussion and they can come back and say, you know, it's held up at my department and I have no problem with that. Then we'll just withhold that pay.
Okay.
But everybody that's responsible for this whole debacle should be held responsible here.
So I'm sorry for the question. I'm assuming is how you would go about doing that. Is that,
right? Because I just have lump sum numbers. I don't know what that represents.
As it stands, I'm not sure what the breakdown is as it goes into the general ledger line items in this, but your motion would be to reduce whichever line item you wish reduced by. At that point, it would be a set dollar amount. You would reduce that pay down by that. I mean, that's how you would amend this. So, but I'm not sure what that dollar amount is.
Could we get it, or what do we do?
That's it.
I mean, we have all our financial people here. Somebody should be able to figure it out.
I don't have that information for you. I got that. We move past the legal question to the financial question at that point.
Just a point of order, Councilman Brescher. I'd prefer you just make the motion. I don't think you have the support to remove the BA salary from a necessary need to finish the budget. But if you believe you do, please take action. Let's just roll call.
Well, I don't know if it's the BA, though, is my thing. It could be coming from the police department. That's what I'm saying. You weren't paying attention to me. The BA told me it's coming from the police department. I don't know where that truth is.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Or wait, let me ask you a question, Counselor.
Sure.
Could you guarantee me, as my counsel here, will you guarantee me that I will receive these documents that I've been requesting? And I don't mean redacted like I got from your firm that one time. I mean totally unredacted documents on all the Easy Pass and the fuel by gallons.
Yeah.
Can you get that to me?
The Easy Pass tolls, I'm sorry, so the Easy Pass tolls paid this year, correct? And then you're looking for?
No, Easy Pass tolls this year.
Okay.
And I want Easy Pass tolls paid during Tom Lanky's administration. So I have a comparison, right?
Okay.
Two different administrations. So total gallons are about the same every year that they use. When I use Lanky's total gallons and I use their total gallons, that's going to tell me how many were in the take-home cars.
Okay.
Because that's the difference. Otherwise, we have basically the same vehicles.
Yeah, so that's a report that, I'm sorry, I just want to make sure, because I understand where you're going with it, so I just want to verify that's a report that can be produced?
You can log into your Easy Pass account and download
No,
it.
I'm not.
what I'm looking
It's not my
for.
Easy Pass. I need to get it from somebody. So,
It's a vendor report. We'll get that.
okay. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Then I'll pass on that.
I understand what you're saying. I will make sure that I will meet with administration tomorrow, and we'll get those reports over to you.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. So on the temporary budget, do we have any more amendments? Hearing none, could I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Motion to adopt the consent agenda.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Any council comments? Madam Clerk, roll call.
Councilmember Brescher.
Yes.
Councilmember Dima.
Yes.
Councilmember Kentos.
Yes.
Councilmember Patel.
Yes.
Councilmember Patil.
Yes.
Councilmember Shmuel.
Yes.
Council President Coyle.
Yes. Thank you, council members. Congratulations to everyone here that is standing, that has a job and serves to Edison Township in any manner or in public safety. Congratulations, everybody. We'll be back to norm tomorrow. And is there any, to the BA, what is our position as of tomorrow?
Council President?
Just, would you let her just?
Council President, all of the positions will be reinstated tomorrow.
Council.
Everyone will report to work tomorrow.
Council President.
I have a council member on the floor that wants to speak. Councilman Brescher?
Yeah, just a quick question. 402, the sanitation budget, was that part of this?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
We did the consent agenda.
You did them together?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Council President.
Yeah, just so everyone's clear, both resolutions were voted as a part of the consent agenda, and both resolutions have passed.
Quick question to the administration. Will these officers will be paid from their last day? Will all the officers who were let go, will they be not only restored, but the back pay?
Everyone will get paid, yes.
Okay, so everyone is going to get the back pay. Thank you.
Okay. Could we just take a quick few minutes to wait for the room to clear? We're not.
You want to adjourn for 5 minutes?
5 minutes to recess.
Can I have a motion to do a 5-minute recess?
Motion to go in 5 minutes recess.
Second.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
It's now 8:48. We're in a 5-minute recess. We're reconvening. It's now 9:03. We are reconvening our meeting. A motion to reconvene.
Have another half hour.
Motion to reconvene?
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 At this time, I'm going to go to, just if courtesy of the council, if I can go to a quick point of light to a close colleague of ours, Councilman Asaf Shmuel. He wanted to make some comments on today's day.
Well, after this meeting, I think I'm going to hold my comments until.
You hold them to the end?
I'm going to hold them again until
finish
next budget
fasting?
meeting. But yes, another 20 minutes of fasting.
You want to postpone your points of light? Or do you want to speak now?
I'm going to postpone. I think we heard enough for tonight.
Okay,
and,
no problem.
I'm glad that we got everything done. Thank you, Council President.
The councilman is fasting today in his holiday, which is not just any holiday, it's a personal holiday, and he will explain later. Okay, so moving forward right here, you're opening up, please. Maria, you have the floor. We're doing public comments.
Hi, thank you. Maria Orchid, Edison.
Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm the chairman of the Human Relations Commission. I am in the Edison Environmental Commission and the Edison Municipal Alliance. It's outrageous to me for the proposed 4.5% raise in municipal taxes. If I'm lucky this year, I may get a 3% raise at my job. We're putting a lot of financial hardships on the residents of Edison. We still have estimated taxes that are due on August 1st. Well, this was before you passed it, so thank you. Thank you for passing the temporary budget. When is the residents' needs come first? We need the park program. We need the recreation. When are the taxpayers paid for the senior citizen services? The splash park? The entire recreation department is furloughed. We're working with them currently to do a fall harvest, and we need their services so we can coordinate for October. We have programs that we're planning and are put on hold. We're coming up to the National Night Out, August. We need our police, our firemen, and our DPWs. They are running right now on limited personnel because of the way we structure our budget. Any furloughs are very dangerous. Thank you for your time.
Come up, welcome.
Hi, my name is Janice Roberts. I'm fairly new to Edison. I purchased my home in 2021 and became a part of the Edison community.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Still a new house.
And I have to say, I've never knew a municipality could go into a partial government shutdown. It's been a surprising to see. First, regarding the budget, Councilman Brusher, you mentioned the Easy Pass issue and not receiving some backup information, which to my understanding will now be provided. Besides that, what other items that were still unresolved that prevented the council from passing the budget? I'd really like to understand what the remaining concerns were. Do we also have a clear date on when the funds will be available until, as this seemed to be an issue before? And for the administration, if that support and information wasn't available over the past several months while the budget was being discussed, what has changed now? Why would that information be available now if it wasn't before? I also want to ask about the summer camp. This affected me because my kids are in the recreation summer camp. Would we be getting a refund for the days that you guys closed?
You have still about 2.5 minutes, so I'll usually try to answer all your questions at the end.
Okay.
But if you have more to talk, you can continue.
This is the end.
Okay. First, to council members, I don't require them to respond to questions and be cross-examined. I think your questions are great. I think Councilman Brescher will do a generalize of what he wants to cut from the budget. But at this time, I'm going to go to the end of your questions and then back to Councilman Brescher, just as a courtesy. And I hope you understand all members of council can choose just not to answer some questions just because of their choice, and I respect that. Okay, so right here, to the BA, we had the summer camp. Will the 2 or 3 days that camp was not available for parents and their children, will they be reimbursed for those days, or are we going to extend the camp?
Council President, I'd like to take a look at that information first and then respond, and we'll provide that information to the parents once it's clarified. I don't want to give out anything this evening without going through with our Recreation Director.
Okay. I'll get that answer back to you. Before you leave, we will get your email. I'll ask the acting deputy clerk to have your email, and we'll respond back to you and put you in a thread with the BA. Okay. Also, the question was on the floor about the information that Mr. Brescia was requesting. It may be available or is available soon, and why wasn't it available earlier? That's for the Easy Pass questions.
Yeah, or just anything that it seems like was being requested. Why wasn't it provided? And is there ever going to be a discussion in regards to what other issues the council has with the budget that's why it wasn't passed? Because it seems like this is the issue.
I'm just going to let your clock run out so you can talk, and then you'll
okay.
be finished. If any, just so that we will finish your time, and I'll respond.
Yeah, it's fine. You can stop the time.
Okay. I don't want to steal your time. Okay. Generally, what happened the other night is not the norm of what happens. We have a chance. Every member of this council has a chance to amend the budget. Every member of this council has a chance to table the budget to another date. Councilman Brescia mentioned that he felt by walking out that it would automatically punt it to the following week. There's some merit to that, but no differently, he could have also requested to move it, get a vote from the members here, and make a motion to table it for 10 days and pick another public hearing. It's a process that's more norm than leaving the council. He also has a chance to make any amendments he chooses, whether it's from police department, maintenance department, janitor department, finance department, et cetera. So each member can look through the budget, and we can share this budget with you and give you a copy of it. So they're able to pull line items at any sequence or switch them line items to give one area a little bit more money than the other, or take away completely for that. So he may not be finished with the amendments he wants at this time. My answer to you is, at the time I was prepared, he did not provide me amendments, but he did discuss the Easy Pass and taking cars homes. So, and that's something I am going to get the answers to him.
Okay. Okay. It's more than just the Easy Pass. 100 cars are going home. So you have the fuel and you have the Easy Pass, right? Now, not all the people taking cars home use Easy Pass. Some of them go up 287, right, and then down 22. So there's a lot of gallonage of gas that's going out to like Hunterdon County or, out by PA. So it's both of those things combined. I do know of Easy Passes that I'm looking for certain dates so that I know when they give them to me, I know that I've received all of them. So there's about 6 dates in there that I know. So that's how I know that I'll get the true, whole number. And the only reason why is because of taxes, right? I don't care if we're going to raise your taxes $2 or $14, whatever it is. I'm trying to keep the cost down here because our electric bills went up. Our schools lost $10 million in funding, right? So we shouldn't be paying for frivolous things. And take-home cars, to me, is absolutely uncalled for. But more so than that, we also send out a flyer. It comes to your house. You probably receive it. It says, hey, look, we're wonderful people. We built some parks for you. We did this for you, right? To me, that's propaganda. That's more like campaign material. And we spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on it. So where I'm going is, if we saved the $800,000 in take-home cars and we saved the $200,000, you just saved $1 million. Now we're not at the 4.5%, we're down at 3%. And if every council does that every year, or if every council allows the budget to grow every year, right? Where are you with your taxes? You just moved here, right?
Yeah.
So I moved here about 25 years ago, and my taxes were something like about $9,000 or $10,000. And because of these just little tiny baby increments, my taxes are now like $18,000. So that's 25 years, right? You'll remember the 25 years, and you're going to remember the conversation when you see your taxes almost double. But if your governing body does go through it and they cut those kind of things, you know, there are things in our temporary appropriations that I've seen that are problematic, right? Like you've heard me say that we had X amount of dollars that we put in. Like we funded the town to 74%, right? But we're only 50% through the year. What you don't know is that the administration has hired people outside the budget from last year. So it's in this budget. So they've been paying them from January to July. They were never authorized to be paid, right? So that money's spent. That's why I think they ended up broke before it was time to be broke, is that they overspent before those items were approved. I think they took it for granted that this body was just going to step up and just approve anything, because this body has done that for years now. So we do have other items, but those are two in particular.
Thank you, Councilman Besher. Thank you. I hope we did the best to answer your questions. Yes. And you may come back. We also, if you'd like to exchange your email with the deputy clerk acting, we can correspond with you on the first issue for the child care. So she'll come around and she'll get your email. Thank you. Any other speakers? Anybody who hasn't spoken before at all? Before I call, yes, please come up. Just as a courtesy, Ms. Shipp, I just want to get to some people.
My name's Brian Kilojansky. I'm a proud member of 1197, been so for the last 11 years. I stand to you here before you right now, speaking though as a homeowner and a taxpayer of this town, 17 East Norwood Road.
And if you could speak closer to the mic, I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Can we turn it up a little bit? Is that a thing too? It's all the way up?
You
Okay.
You got to get into that karaoke movie.
See what I could do. Got you covered with that one.
Thank you.
All I'd like to say today is I know many members of you council members up here. I've seen your guys' work. I've seen what you've done. What I did see today, unfortunately, I would say was one of the more poor performances of a council meeting. There are certain things that I think when I elected some of you guys up there that should be known by everybody. The deadline for the appropriations running out. Granted, I heard it went back and forth from the BA to you guys regarding that. That date should be cemented in your head when that money would run out. Us electing you up there and then having the possibility of the money running out, jeopardizing some of the safety that's in this town, jeopardizing the police officers, jeopardizing the schools, the water park, all of that. You guys should know that date, that number, prior to it running out. That's gonna be number one. Number two, I'm not in any type of politics whatsoever. I'm a lowly firefighter. I work as a nurse. I'm outside of what you guys do. And I know it's very difficult. I know you guys have a lot going on with that.
Thank you.
But also, when it comes down to the vote now, we're just voting on appropriations this meeting, and a lot of things got brought up with the budget regarding your guys' salaries. As a point of form, one would know that your guys' salaries would not be affected in the vote here today. That was going to happen in the budget. So I'm just saying, we voted you up there. Please know your jobs. Please know what you're doing for. I want you guys to know these dates. I want you guys to know the importance that it means for every resident that's here in town. That is the most important part. As I have to do in my job as an elected, well, not elected official, but as a sworn person to this town that's here to defend this town, I will continue to do that. I need you guys to do your duty to what you guys swore that oath to know these numbers, to know these dates, and for the transparency to be a little bit stronger, the communication to be a little bit stronger, so we can definitely get this budget passed on August 3rd. That is beyond important for the rest of this town. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Just as a note to your discussion, the temporary appropriations happens you still have a minute too anyway. Temporary appropriations happen all the time. Like I mentioned, I voted on it more than 75 times with Councilman Patil. close to 55 times with Councilman Brescher. It's a norm that we do this, that we have temporary appropriations. We spend 1/12 of the budget, or a little more than 1/12 of the budget, which is a month of spending. What happened on Monday is not the norm. Councilman Brescher would have normally voted for the temporary appropriations. If everybody was here, it would have been voted for. The act that happened and then the reenactment of us postponing the budget brought us to August 3rd. Okay, so that could have been an issue. How we react and how you believe we should react or the mayor should react later or on the 31st or on the 21st, it's just a matter of opinion. When do you shock the public that we could be in trouble? But no matter what, when we do temporary appropriations, it's temporary appropriations. It's 1 month or so of spending. Right now, we're good till, go ahead.
Seeing
You
that
have 20
still,
seconds.
seeing that was still on the agenda for that day, I believe that should have been voted upon there. With the quorum going below.
I don't disagree with you. 1 second. I don't think it was the intentions of Councilman Brescher to leave and not vote for the appropriations. That's just my opinion. I know him long enough. I don't like him that he left. I don't know the purpose of why he left. But, I'm with you, and that's it. But I think all the members here want to vote on the temporary appropriations. That's what they do. We've been doing it together for forever. In fact, it's the first time we pulled line items from temporary appropriations, ever. I just lost $221. I don't know how I'm going to live. But Mr. Patil says he's going to make it up and somehow.
Most important part is just
Okay.
communication, knowing.
It's no problem. I get your point. Thank you very much. You may sit down.
Council President?
Yep, sure. I'm sorry, Mr. Brescher had the floor first. Just want to be fair.
Right. I just wanted to explain. There wasn't the intention, only because when I looked at those numbers, and I'm looking at like 75%, but we're only through 55% of the year. To me, there should be a lot of money left over, right? Where and what, I honestly don't know. Where it is, we're going to get to the bottom of it, and we are going to find out why. I've contacted like other mayors, and everybody said, no, this can't happen. So there had to be money. Now, I did notice, and we're going to go through this at our meeting, that the administration has hired people that weren't in the budget. That's an issue, because that's a hidden cost to us. We don't know that they're hired. We don't know they're being paid. And then those salaries come out of that 74%, which now could leave a hole. They also listed, I think, insurance costs. So there were things like that that they gave us a sheet here, for what the expenditures were that led to, being short that they needed extra money. But even in that document, it just says, this line item, this line item, this line item. It doesn't tell you what those added expenditures are, right? So if you're going to a governing body that just deals with finance, wouldn't you tell them what each of these items are worth? Or are we just supposed to say, okay, because you said it costs more? So it was unfortunate. Wish it didn't happen. I wish we didn't have to pull salaries to get information. Okay, this should never have happened. And if we find out that they're actually broke in every one of their accounts and all of these furloughs were real, yes, I'm sorry about that. If we find out that they had money and we didn't have to furlough people, that's going to be another story, because then the administration has to be held accountable for it. So we're going to get a record keeping of this. I wish, like the unions would do that. They could have filed an injunction to get this information. I can't get it, right? But the unions have lawyers. You guys, can do that. Now my attorney's going to help me get some of this now, right? So maybe we'll be pretty good. But yeah, I apologize for bringing everybody out here tonight. That would be a council vice president.
Thank you, Councilman. Quick question to Sonia or Ken. Could we have at the June 20, is there something that would have prevented us at the June 24th meeting from doing the temporary appropriations? I mean, is there a time frame? You have to be so far into a month or something to be able to do this? A 1/12 or whatever?
No, we generally do temporary emergency appropriations 1/12 at a time. So like this one will take us through the end of August. But the issue from Monday night was that, even had Councilman Brescher stayed, we couldn't have adopted the temporary emergency appropriations because we didn't have
the 5 votes. Right. But if we would have had the meeting on Wednesday, what would have happened?
If we had at least 5 members present voting affirmative, that it would have passed.
But would have people been laid off Wednesday morning? I mean, would we have run out of money Wednesday morning?
No, because of the fact that the budget and the temporary emergency appropriations were on the council meeting for the 20th. If we had the meeting scheduled for Wednesday night, we would not have taken action until Thursday if it failed.
But you took action Wednesday.
But we took action on Wednesday.
Right, because it failed Monday. That was the scheduled council meeting.
Right. What I'm saying is this meeting was originally scheduled for the 22nd.
Right, if it stayed originally on Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
And even if the measure failed, we would have probably had to have taken action Thursday morning.
But would have people been laid off Wednesday morning?
No.
It would have
Then why were they laid off Wednesday morning?
Sir, that is the new pay period. It relates to the pay period.
Right.
I completely understand that. All I'm saying is, if we had the meeting on Wednesday, would people have been laid off Wednesday morning?
Sir, the anticipation was that this would have been approved had the council been here.
Okay, so it wasn't approved on Monday. So you call an emergency meeting for today, but nobody gets laid off.
It's a 48-hour notice, sir.
Okay, so you gave the 48-hour notice. Why were people laid off, though, if they weren't going to be laid off Wednesday morning?
Sir, in terms of what the mayor wanted to do, okay, was to hold on to as much public safety personnel as possible.
Okay.
So all of the money that we would have had remaining towards the end of the month, it would have been allocated specifically for just public safety. That was the mayor's choice, to ensure that public safety, enough public safety personnel was here.
It's not that difficult. All I'm saying is, if the meeting was originally scheduled for Wednesday and we decided to move it to Monday, nobody said when we moved it to Monday, nobody said, hey, by the way, we can't even have it on Wednesday, because if we have it on Wednesday, people are going to start getting laid off on Wednesday morning.
Council Vice President, you picked the 20th 2 months ago because of the conflict in dates. So respectfully to Councilman Shmuel, the meeting would have never been able to happen on the Wednesday. Would have had to be the Monday.
Correct. I agree with you on that. What I'm saying, though, is we were about to schedule this meeting for Wednesday, and nobody said at that time, hey, by the way, we can't schedule it for Wednesday because we're going to run out of money. We got to schedule it for 2 days earlier.
Councilman, it has been my experience and this council's experience historically that up until the very last moment that they can pass a temporary emergency appropriation, that's when they choose to do so.
Then I will accept that answer. If that's the past practice, that you wait to the last minute.
That is my understanding, that the governing body's policy is to do so in that manner. Now, if the governing body wishes for us to do it in a different manner, to have, let's say, a 30-day sort of cushion, if you will, then that's up to the council.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Well, I was talking about the cushion, but I abandoned that argument. I was talking about the dates. That's all.
Understood.
Fair enough.
Okay.
And perhaps we can certainly look at that together and consider passing a double appropriation or something that would cover a longer length, so we won't have that issue. Okay, so can I move to Councilman Piro Patel? Just wanted to make a few comments.
Yes, so thank you, Council President. And I mentioned briefly earlier in the moment that the opportunity arose to speak. I was not planning on at that time, but basically we're here for the appropriations, and I spoke about Monday earlier, and our goal is to make sure every single employee of this township, if you are here, many of you left, so if you are listening or watching at home, or if you watch this tomorrow or in coming days, my goal personally is never to affect your job. I know how it feels being a victim myself. Never to affect your job. So to PBA, to Fire, Jim, and your organization, to Michael and your organization, and everyone that sells public safety and every employees, my goal has never, ever been to affect your job, and we'll make sure that your job is not impacted. So we passed the appropriation today, and I plan on making sure to vote the budget on August 3rd for you guys, so you guys don't get impacted. So from at least from my side, you guys don't have to worry about your jobs. Thank you.
Okay. We're going to move back to the public here. Any other members of the public would like to speak? First timers that have not spoke already at all, just want to make sure, look around the room, give me just 1 second. Any members who've not spoken before that like to speak, I'll go back to people who've spoken already. Mr. Benjamin, please.
Thank you, Council President Andrew Bensavanga, known as Benz. I just want to say thank you so much for approving this meeting, because this was important. I have nothing else to say. I just want to say thank you for everybody for your support. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public? Ms. Chip?
I actually come to council meetings. I don't come for the shows and stuff, and I'm really, really disappointed, very, very disappointed that we would have to be on Channel 12, have to be on the phone, have to be all these places, creating all this chaos, making the council members fight each other. You know what I mean? I'm ashamed of our mayor that he plays this whole routine. Since he's been in, we've had the people, the bungalow people from the drugs and all that kind of stuff, flags, all that. It's just been a total circus. That's what this has been. It's been a circus constantly. And I've been way back when they used to stay here all night long and only get like $600. That's how long I've been coming to these meetings back and forth. What disturbs me the most is everybody comes here and they complain about, their salaries and complain about not. But where are you when we spend $4 million for the Stelton building and we say, let's tear it down? Where are you when we say $5 million and then it turns out to be a project for $18 million? Where are you? Okay, that's why I don't have faith in people, because they don't count up. Where are you when they place called The Grove, a big kitty litter place down there, $110,000? Where are you when these kids, all of a sudden their programs get cut in the middle of nowhere? You know what I mean? With a mother. I know. I was a teacher most of the time. I did recreation the rest of the time. So I know how that affects the people when you do stuff. I go to my credit union lady and she says, hey, it's 30 Thursday morning. My mother, older woman, her program got cut. But nobody cares. Nobody actually cares, because everybody out here come up here and talking about, oh, we need this. Oh, we can't have this without public safety. We can't have the other thing. Then I said like this here. I said, now it can't be just the chief of police about the easy pass, because I know he don't have 100 supervisors. So I know that the BA would have to be the one that supply you with enough information, because it would have to be other people at all. But I just don't get it, that all this money that's being wasted. And somebody asked me, they said, well, how could he do that in that park? I said, all you got to do is slide stuff under umbrella. Slide it under, okay? And I just give it to the people. This is recreation. Now I'm going to do all the other things that I want to do under here. I'm going to put it under the guise of recreation, all right? Because most people is different. Me, when I sat there and I sat as president, you know what I did? I sat with the BA 2 days a week. I sat with the BA so I could understand about the ridiculous amount of money. But and so when we left and that BA left, she left with a surplus, all right? So now people are telling me you're going to dig into the surplus, and you see how this weather is going? You see how this weather is going? You dig into the surplus, and then when something happens, what we going to do, rob Peter to pay Paul? That's going to be very, very sad. And I spoke to some different people, police officers and other people. I said, okay, we okay this time, but do you want to be really laid off when this town goes bankrupt? I just talked about a couple of the things that we just pissing away money on. You know what I mean? Who is watching the store? That's the BA's job, is to keep the mayor in check. Not a teenager with a platinum credit card. That's their job. And if you can't do it good, that's why we're going to be bankrupt soon.
Thank you, Speaker. Anybody else who'd like to speak in the public portion here? Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public portion? Motion to close the public portion.
Motion to close.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the public portion is now closed. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. This meeting's adjourned.